I told you yesterday, we are going to see menstrual cycle in detail. Life processes in living organisms, part 2, session 3. Menstrual cycle for a day we are going to discuss. Here you can see the picture which is given on the slide. It's a 20-day menstrual cycle. Whereas some part is shaded in a different color. Why it is so? Why 28 days? And what are the changes happening from one cycle to another? All these things we are going to see in detail. So let's recall what we have done or what we're supposed to discuss. In this particular lecture, we are going to see all these subtopics in detail, like puberty, menstrual cycle, then follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, progesterone. Then next is the follicles in the ovary. And what do you mean by ovary? Endometrium, ovulation, bursting of follicles. Then what is corpus luteum? Implantation of the embryo, corpus albicans, unfertilized ovum. Then 5 days bleeding, parturition, personal hygiene during menstruation. So out of that list, let us discuss the first one, that is puberty. Puberty is when a child's body begins to develop and change as they become an adult. Girls develop breasts and starts their periods, whereas boys develop a deeper voice and facial hair will start to appear. The average age for girls to begin puberty is 11, while for boys the average age is 12. I think same concept we have discussed yesterday too. Now next one is a menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is the regular natural change. Okay, nothing is different. It's a regular and natural change that occurs in the female reproductive system that makes pregnancy possible. Okay, as we were yesterday discussing about the menopause, so menopause is nothing but a permanent cessation, or we can say it is a transition from the productive to non-productive. So this menstrual cycle is nothing but a system which that makes the pregnancy possible. That means the productivity maintains just because of menstrual cycle. The cycle is required for the production of oocytes. Okay, and that means female gametes, and for the preparation of the uterus for the pregnancy. Okay, so these two things are important, to release the female gamete and the another one to prepare the uterus for the pregnancy. The menstrual cycle occurs due to the rise and the fall of estrogen. So here this menstrual cycle is dependent, or we can say under the control of the hormone that is known as estrogen. Hope you have understood by the definition. Definitely we are going to see all the phases in detail. Next one is a FSH, which is given in that list. The follicle stimulating hormone is a gonadotropin, glycoprotein, polypeptide hormone. It's a proteinaceous. That's it's a polypeptide glycoprotein. Follicle stimulating hormone is synthesized and secreted by the gonadotropic cells. Why they are called as the gonadotropins? Because these are the hormones which are which are secreted by the gonadotropic cells of the anterior pituitary gland, and that regulates the development, growth, and pubertal maturation and the reproductive processes of the body. So that's why the follicle stimulating hormones, what are the functions? The functions that regulates the development, growth, pubertal maturation, that means at puberty, and the reproductive processes of the body, which comes under the follicle stimulating hormone. This is the function. Next hormone, that is as total we have 4 hormones in the cycle, but we are discussing the second one now. That is luteinizing hormone. We also called it as LH, is a hormone which is produced by the gonadotropic cells. In the anterior pituitary gland again, the production of this luteinizing hormone is regulated by the gonadotropins releasing hormone from the hypothalamus. Which part of the brain, that is hypothalamus. And in females, an acute rise of the luteinizing hormone triggers the ovulation and the development of corpus luteum. We will see the ovulation in detail when we'll see the complete cycle. Okay. As you remember, and in the previous slide, that is the first slide of the title slide, I have put one picture over there where you have seen that reddish part. Okay, that red shaded part. That part is a ovulation period. What's that? We will see. Okay. Now, estrogen. Estrogen is a hormone that plays the various roles in the body. Let us see what is that. In females, it helps to develop and maintain both the reproductive system and female characteristics such as the breast and pubic hair. So, our female characteristic as well as its a reproductive system, and I mean the maintaining of the reproductive system that comes under the estrogen. Now we have the progesterone. Progesterone is a steroid hormone which is belonging to the class of hormones called as progestogens. It is secreted by the corpus luteum, a temporary endocrine gland that the female body produces after the ovulation during the second half of the menstrual cycle. So, till now, we have seen certain terms like gonadotropins. This is a type of a hormones which is synthesized and released by the pituitary and acts upon the gonads. Now, what are the gonads? We have testes and ovaries. So, these are called as a gonadotropins. Now, what do you mean by the steroid hormones? These are derived from the cholesterol and it is secreted by the adrenal glands, then testes, ovaries. Okay, so this is all about it. So till now we have seen the important, we can say the hormones which are involved in the menstrual cycle, or we can say in the female reproductive system. Next is about the ovary. Okay, as it is enlisted in the list. The ovary is an organ which is found in the female reproductive system. Here you can see the ovaries, a pair of ovaries, right? That produces an ovum, that is female gamete. When released, this travels down the fallopian tube. You can see the fallopian tube immediately next to the ovary there in the picture, right? So from this ovary, the ovum is released and it is traveled to the fallopian tube. Then it comes to the uterus that you can see in the middle, where it may become the fertilized by the sperm. If the sperm enters through the vagina, travels to the cervix, and then to the then it from vagina to the uterus, and then it if egg is available, that means ovum is available and the sperm is available, then the fertilization will take place. So there is an ovary which is found on each side of the body. Okay, whatever I have explained you, here is there in front of you. You can take a screenshot. Next, here you can see the follicle. Now, what do you mean by the follicle? The follicle is a functional anatomical structure which forms part of the ovary, right? These follicles are present there in the ovary, like how we have seminiferous tubules in testes. Like that, we have here basic functional unit of the ovary. These are the ovarian follicles. Okay, so that forms the part of the ovary, and the egg is the cell that will mature in microscopic parts of the inner wall of this follicle over spontaneous and stimulated ovarian cycle in normal conditions. Furthermore, the follicle contains the other cell types which produce the estrogen which is required for the normal development of the egg maturation. As we know, there are about 2 to 4 millions of immatured eggs are present even in the female fetus, right? At the fetal condition. But as at the puberty level, these gets matured. Okay, so over the period of we can say the ovarian cycle, the estrogen is also secreted by these follicles. Why the estrogen is secreted, which is required for the development of the egg maturation. Okay, the next here is there. You can see the functioning of follicles. Next one is a endometrium. The endometrium is the inner lining of the uterus. Okay, the inner wall, we can say, of the uterus. You can see in the middle, that is a bluish shaded part, that is endometrium. Each month, the endometrium thickens and renews itself, preparing for pregnancy. If pregnancy doesn't occur, the endometrium sheds in a process known as menstruation. Whatever the bleeding happening just because of the shedding of this endometrium. If there is no fertilization of the egg, that means there is no pregnancy. So it will continues to the next menstrual cycle, and that is in the form of bleeding for the 5 days. And that is happening just because of the shaded part of this, I mean the shedding of this endometrium. If conception takes place, the embryo implants into the endometrium. If pregnancy is there, then definitely this menstrual cycle will stop temporarily, and the in an endometrium that implantation will take place. So that is the function of the endometrium. Here you can see that in detail. Simultaneously take the screenshot. Next, ovulation. As we were talking about the ovulation. Here in the cycle, you can see that the first 5 days, okay, the first 5 days that which is given in pink, so that is the actual bleeding period, that is menstruation. Okay, after that, from 6 to 14 days, okay, the 6 to 14 days, and even in that, a particular days were mentioned, days are mentioned over here, that is from 11, 12, and 13 days. These are the most fertile days, whereas the 14th day is considered to be as an ovulation, and from 15 and 16 also could still be fertile after even ovulation. So from 11 to 16, this is we called it as an fertile, it is an ovulation period and in most fertile days. Okay, right? And then 17 onwards till the next cycle appears. Okay, then ovulation stops. Then what happens after the ovulation, we will see that. Okay, is that understood, everybody? The menstruation days, then we have the most fertile days, then we have the ovulation days, and even after the ovulation, up to 16 days, it can be fertile. Now, ovulation is the release of the egg from your ovary into your fallopian tube. As we have seen that immediately next to the ovaries, we have that duct-like structure, that's fallopian tube. It typically happens about 13 to 15 days before the start of the each period. Like your period, the timing of ovulation can vary cycle to cycle, and you may have the odd cycles where you don't ovulate at all. Okay, whatever is given over here, this cycle is an ideal cycle for the ovulation, about 28 days menstrual cycle, right? Next, yes, here you can see the bursting of the follicles. Now, what happens here? Okay, itself, this picture itself gives you an idea. That is, the first is the activation under the hormonal impact. Then after that, this growth takes place. Then particular selection, that means what? Here the selection is considered to be a single ovarian follicle, that we have many of the ovarian follicles. So that particular cycle, okay, a month, a single ovarian follicle is the selection of that particular ovarian follicles takes place, that particular selected ovarian follicles undergoes the differentiation, and then further the maturation, that means the ovulation takes place. Okay, so you can see the maturation phase also, and the bursting of that ovarian follicle, and release of the ovum. Okay, right before ovulation, the egg inside the follicle detaches itself. Here you can see the bursting, right? So detaches, the last one, the maturation cycle, you can see the bursting of that ovarian follicle and an ovum is coming out of it, right? So it detaches itself from the ovarian follicle. The follicle swells until it bursts open and ejecting the egg and the fluid into the abdominal cavity. Small finger-like protrusions at the end of the fallopian tube, that is called as a fimbriae, that sweep across the burst follicle and pick up the egg. Now, fimbriae is nothing but a finger-like projection at the end of the fallopian tube. You must have seen that finger-like projections, okay, immediately near to the ovary. Okay, that duct opening is in the form of projections like fingers. Okay, so that is called as an fimbriae. So from this fimbriae, this is egg can be catched. Okay, it is taken up by those fimbriae and then it is passed in on to the fallopian tube. Now the next one is a corpus luteum. Now what do you mean by the corpus luteum? Let us understand. Yes, the corpus luteum is a mass of cells that forms in an ovary and is responsible for the production of the hormone progesterone. Okay, you have to remember that is a progesterone is produced by the corpus luteum. It's a kind of a, you can say the cell mass of cells. Okay, then progesterone, why progesterone? Which is during the pregnancy. Okay, that during the pregnancy the progesterone is secreted. The role of this corpus luteum is what? It depends on whether or not fertilization occurs. Sometimes cysts can form in a corpus luteum, which can lead to painful symptoms. Okay, if the pregnancy is there, if the fertilization it takes place, then definitely this corpus luteum formed and it gives, I mean, it secretes the important hormone progesterone, which supports the pregnancy. Okay, so that is the role of corpus luteum. Here it is given in detail. Next we'll see the implantation. Implantation is a process in which a developing embryo moving as a blastocyst through a uterus makes contact with the uterine wall and remains attached to it until birth. The lining of the uterus, that is that just now I told you, the endometrium, prepares for the developing blastocyst to attach to it via many internal changes. Let us see these changes till the implantation. Okay, here you can see the ovary. Okay, from that ovary you can see next to it is a fallopian tube, but fallopian tube having the fimbriae. You can see that projections immediately next to that. Okay, so once it is bursted out from the ovarian follicle, this fimbriae catched upon those released ovum, then it is traveled to that narrower part you can see in the day 0. You can see there, you can see there in the picture at the day 0 this ovum is travels over there, and if in that fallopian tube if sperm is available, it gets fertilized. Then immediately you can see the fertilized egg, that we call it as a always zygote. Then near that day 1 labeling you can see the first cleavage. Okay, at day 2 you can see the 2 cell stage, again the division. Okay, at day 3 or 4 you can see the 4 cell stage. Okay, it leads to again 4 to 8 cells, that is a uncompacted morula. Okay, that is a morula state, that is immediately after the fertilization. Once the cleavage happened, that you can say at day 1, you can see after this day 4 the 8 cell uncompacted morula. Then at day 4 you can see the 8 cell compacted morula, a compact morula. Okay, it is the stages of the embryonic development, nothing else. Then at the day 5 you can see the early blastocyst. Okay, then at day 6 and 7 the late stage blastocyst, that is the advanced stage. And at the day 8 and 9, what happens? The implantation of this blastocyst. That implantation, where it takes place? It takes place into the inner wall, that is inner lining of the uterus. That is nothing but the endometrium. Okay. So from day 0 to the day 8 or 9, this implantation takes place. Okay, this picture is definitely self-explanatory. You can take a screenshot. It will help you to understand the concept like implantation. Next, here you can see the implantation is the process in which the developing embryo, moving as blastocyst through a uterus, makes contact with the uterine wall, that is endometrium, and remains attached to it until birth. The lining of the uterus, that is endometrium, prepares for the developing blastocyst to attach to it via many internal changes. And we have seen the changes from day 0 to up to 8 and 9. Next, corpus albicans. Now, what is corpus albicans? The corpus albicans, in Latin words, that is white body, okay, is an ovarian scar which is composed of connective tissue, is a kind of a connective tissue, this albicans, that forms after the corpus luteum degenerates. If there is no pregnancy, then as we have seen that the corpus luteum is responsible to secrete the progesterone, and which sustains, or we can say the supports the pregnancy. If there is no fertilization, no implantation, then definitely this corpus luteum changes to corpus albicans. And in that, what happens? These corpus luteum starts degenerates, and a process which called as a luteolysis. So luteolysis is nothing but the structural and functional degradation of the corpus luteum. The degradation process of corpus luteum, if there is no fertilization, implantation, no pregnancy, then the corpus luteum degenerates. Okay, and that process is called as a luteolysis. Okay, and the corpus albicans is primarily made up of collagen and persists on the ovary for few months. This is about the corpus albicans. Next, we are going to talk about the fertilized and the unfertilized egg. First, we'll talk about the fertilized egg, which refers to an egg that is fused with a sperm of the same species. Then, unfertilized egg is refers to an egg that is not fused with the sperm. Then develop into a diploid embryo that we have seen into the embryonic stages, right? Some developed into haploid organisms, which is in unfertilized. Where in fertilized, again, we have the diploid stage, but in unfertilized, we have an haploid. Then in fertilized egg, we have an actively divides by mitosis. There is a mitosis, number of cells are increasing, whereas it is arrested if and unfertilized, then definitely it is arrested at the metaphase 2 of the meiosis. Okay, because as we have seen the complete fertilization, the mitotic process division of the egg is takes place only during the fertilization. If it is not happening, if there is no fertilization, then it's we can say the division of the cell is arrested at the metaphase 2 of the meiosis 2. We have seen these stages in detail in our previous chapters. Then again, it occurs when an egg is released from your ovary. When the egg is released, it may or may not be fertilized by the sperm. If fertilized, the egg may travel to the uterus and implant to develop into pregnancy. If left unfertilized, the egg disintegrates and the uterine lining is shed during your period. That is endometrium, shedding of the endometrium. Now the next concept is a parturition. That means the childbirth. Childbirth is the culmination of pregnancy, during which a baby grows inside a woman's uterus. Now, the next one is about your personal hygiene during the menstrual cycle. First of all, change your sanitary protection frequently to avoid the menstrual odor. Second one, choose cotton underwear to stay fresh and dry and make sure they are clean. You have to take bath regularly. Don't use the vaginal deodorant or the feminine sprays or the fragrance soap to clean your vagina. Okay, you have to avoid these things. Here are some basic hygiene measures that every girl and woman should take during menstruation. Take a shower or a bath at least once a day. Change pads or the tampons regularly to prevent the infection. It is advisable to change a sanitary pad once every 6 hours. For a tampon, it is every 2 hours. So, tampon, what do you mean by the tampons over here? The tampons are designed to absorb the blood and the secretions during the menstruation. Unlike it is sanitary pads, but tampons are placed in the vaginal canal. Okay, and it is made for the same purpose to absorb the blood and the vaginal secretions. Yes, this is something which is given in our textbook. Okay, whatever things that we have seen and discussed till now, like the four hormones, then we have talked about what is ovarian follicle, then process of ovulation. After the ovulation, corpus luteum forms. See, you can see the upper part of this picture. There you can see these terms. Okay, so corpus luteum is formed, and this corpus luteum gives, like, the hormones like the progesterone and estrogen, which are is responsible for, you can say, with the these for supporting the pregnancy. But if there is no fertilization of the pregnancy, it turns into the corpus albicans, which is given in white. As we know, the corpus albicans is a white body. Then in the lower half of this, we can say, the picture, you can see the estrogen in the middle part. The estrogen which is secreted by the ovarian follicles. You can see why this estrogen is required over here for the growth and the maturation of the ovum. Then the days which is given, days you can see from 1 to 28 over there. Okay, this cycle may changes for from person to person, from lady, from one woman to another. Like the period of menstruation is from 1 to 5, then again from 6 to 14, and up to 16, the period of regeneration of endometrium. Again, it gets ready for the implantation. It gets thickened with the lots of blood over there. And then the ovulation period happens, that takes place between 14 to 16 days. If after the ovulation, if there is no fertilization, then again the period of secretion of the glands in the endometrium. That means the endometrium starts degenerating, and it gets ready for the next cycle if there is no fertilization. And again at the 28th day or after that, the beginning of the new menstruation takes place. That means the bleeding happens again. These first 5 days repeats. Okay, so this is all uh, about this picture, which explains about the menstrual cycle. And before that, even these follicles comes under the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, that you can see at the top. There is a pituitary gland. So as we have discussed before, this is completely endocrine system. The endocrine system, that means it is a ductless. Okay, it's these hormones, the secretions, the we can say reaches to their required, or we can say the concerned part of our body through the bloodstream. Okay, so this is all about it. Female reproductive system undergoes some changes at puberty, and those changes repeats at the interval of every 28 to 30 days. Please remember these. You can make get this such a kind of questions in the objective types of questions. These repetitive changes are called as a menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is a natural process controlled by the four hormones. Again, you have to underline these in your textbook. These four hormones are follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, and progesterone. One of the several follicles in the ovary starts to develop along with the oocytes present in it under the effect of the follicle stimulating hormone. These developing follicles secrete estrogen. Endometrium of the uterus starts to develop during first cycle or regenerate during subsequent cycle under the effect of estrogen. Meanwhile, developing follicle completes its development, it bursts under the effect of luteinizing hormone and oocyte is released. This is called an ovulation. Okay, you may get the question, what do you mean by ovulation? So here is the answer. Remaining tissue of the burst follicle forms the corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum starts to secrete the progesterone, and the endometrium glands secrete their secretions under the effect of this progesterone, and such endometrium is ready for the implantation of the embryo. Okay, this is the entire explanation of the picture given over here in our textbook. The rest part of it is the if oocyte is not fertilized within 24 hours. Okay, you have to remember that oocyte is remained only for 24 hours. If it is not fertilized, then what happens? This corpus luteum becomes inactive because there is no chances of pregnancy, and it transforms into the corpus albicans. Due to this, the secretion of the estrogen and progesterone stops completely. This endometrium starts to degenerate in the absence of these two hormones. Then tissue of degenerating endometrium and unfertilized ovum are discarded out through the vagina, and this is accompanied with the continuous bleeding, and this bleeding continues approximately for 5 days, and this is called as a menstruation. Then after that, unless the oocyte is fertilized and embryo is implanted, if see this menstruation occurs when there is no fertilization. If fertilized, if that egg is fertilized, oocytes get fertilized, then embryo is implanted, and this process is repeated every month. If the embryos is implanted, the repetition of this cycle is temporarily stopped. This menstruation will stop temporarily. Okay, till the parturition, that the childbirth. Okay, just now we have discussed about the parturition, and thereafter period of the breastfeeding. Then menstrual cycle is a natural process and the woman experience severe pain. Okay, such these things that every woman experience, that severe pain during this period. Severe weakness is felt due to the heavy bleeding, and there is higher possibility of infections too during this overall period. So that's why we have discussed about what kind of personal hygiene that you have to take. Then, due to all such reasons, there is need of rest along with the special personal hygiene. And we have seen all the uh, required personal hygiene things before this. Okay. Now, during parturition, the uterus contracts to push the fetus towards the cervix and continues until the fetus comes down the birth canal. In this process, the head should be first to come out, and after parturition, the uterus releases the placenta and is passes out immediately after the fetus is born. We have seen about what is placenta. Placenta is required. I mean, it provides everything like blood and other nutrients for the developing baby. Okay. Let us discuss few of the questions which are related to the menstruation. What are the signs and the symptoms of the menstruation? Besides the bleeding, other signs and symptoms of the menstruation may include headache, acne, bloating, pains in the lower abdomen, tiredness, mood changes, food cravings, then breast soreness, and the diarrhea. These are some of the symptoms which are associated with the menstruation. When does menstruation begin and when does it end? The menstrual cycle is the hormonal driven cycle. We have seen that in detail. Okay. Then day 1 is the first day of your period, that is bleeding, while day 14 is the approximately day you ovulate, that is the period of ovulation. And if an egg is not fertilized, the hormone levels eventually drop, and at about day 25 the egg begins to dissolve and the cycle begins again with the period at about day 30, that is about 20 to 30 days. Menstruation begins day 1 and normally ends day 3 to 5 of the menstrual cycle. So the bleeding happens or takes place up to 3 to 5 days. Now let us discuss about something about the toxic shock syndrome. It is life threatening. Okay, is it life threatening? Oh, that is the question. Yes, women should change the pad or the tampons before it becomes soaked with blood. About every 4 to 8 hours is given, but it up to 6 hours. Okay. Then follow the directions on the box to help avoid the toxic shock syndrome, a potentially deadly disease. Call your doctor or other health professional if you have any abnormalities in your period. For example, the excessive bleeding, no periods, then if you have severe pain, the fever with tampons use, then the sudden irregularities and other problems. So you should concern your physiologist. Then we have what is the treatment for the pain and other symptoms which is caused by the menstruation. See, some of the medicines are mentioned over here, but definitely you don't take on your own. You have to take your doctor's advice. Now we'll see about the one more concept, that is infertility. The definition is any disorder which is involving the sexual functioning, desire, or performance. That is, sexual disorder is is a difficulty experienced by an individual or a couple during any stage of the normal sexual activity, including the physical pleasure, desire, preferences, arousal, or the orgasm. The sexual dysfunctioning is the term which is usually referring to the either disturbances in sexual desire or functioning. Although the sexual dysfunction is usually thought of to be male related disorder, or it may be associated with either the female or male gender. Sexual dysfunction is the multidimensional phenomenon which is composed of various psychological, social, physical dimensions for which there are now several effective options for the treatment are available. So, see, these things you are going to see in detail in the advanced or the modern technology in the rest of the part of this chapter. Then, reproductive disorder diseases. In simple language, this can be defined as a disease affecting that lead to infertility or the sterility. Fertility, that means what? The ability of an animal to reproduce. Whereas infertility is what? Is a temporary inability of the animal to reproduce. Whereas the sterility is a permanent inability of the animal to produce. Okay, so there is a difference between infertility and sterility. What are the causes? There are different causes, like anatomical hereditary diseases one may have, then the functional defects, okay, the hormonal diseases, then the infection. Sometimes some infection may lead to such kind of infertility, and the management causes. Next, on the basis of this topic, we make it the activity based questions like this. Here the this picture will be given to you, and observe, and the question will be like this: observe the given figure and give the answer the following question. So what is indicated by the above figure? Okay, then second question is like, which organs of the human body include in this process? Third one is, which hormone take part in above process? Then after how many days the same process repeats? Okay, so let's start with this only. uh, okay, those who know the answer, you can observe the given picture, and you can answer. So please raise your hand, so ma'am will unmute you. My first question: what is indicated by the above figure? Ma'am, please unmute them. Four participants.
Yes, miss.
Yeah, so what you can
Yes,
observe?
teacher.
Which diagram is this?
This diagram indicates
Men
the menstrual process in female.
Okay, good. Menstrual cycle in females. Good. Second one, which organs of human body included in this process? Where?
ovary.
Yeah, very good. Third one, which hormone takes part in the above process? Which hormones? Name
Follicle
those.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes,
hormone,
yes.
The four hormones are estrogen, progesterone, luteinizing hormone, and follicle stimulating hormones.
It's progesterone. Okay. Estrogen,
Yes, ma'am.
progesterone hormone, and follicle stimulating hormone. Good. Then, after how many days the same process repeats?
Ma'am, can I?
Can I?
Yes, another one, please. Who's that?
After 28 or 30 days.
Yes, very good.
after 20 or 30 days.
Right, right, right. Okay, we have a few more questions. Like again, four hormones which are controls the process of menstrual cycle? Anyone?
Yes, miss.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
can I?
Yes, the another person, like another student.
Follicle stimulating hormone
Yes.
FH and luteinizing hormone LH,
Mm,
estrogen and progesterone.
good, good. Where does implantation of embryo takes place?
Uterus.
Uterus,
Yes,
but a particular implantation, the inner lining. I need that word. Definitely uterus.
Endometrium.
Yes, that's
Endometrium.
good, good. Now you can define or you can say in your own words what do you mean by menstruation?
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah, let me see how many are there. Yeah, four of them have raised the hand. Let me see. Falguni, can you?
The process of menstruation occurs in the ovary, uh, through uh, which repeats after every 28 days. Uh,
Okay, okay. You can add few more points in it.
Ma'am, can I?
the process
Yeah, actually, you can add few more points.
Ma'am, can I say in own words, in my own words?
Okay, okay, no problem.
It is an event of cyclic changes which take place in 28 to 30 days of interval. It is occur in a mature woman.
Okay, good. And there you can see the bleeding cycle for 3 to 5 days. Okay, okay, fine. Then menstrual cycle repeats at the interval of how many days? You can get the objective type question.
28 to
20,
30 days.
28 to 30 days.
Yes, very good. Thank you, everyone. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we can end.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, food craving means
Food craving, that means you feel hungry. You feel like eating few other dishes like that. You feel hungry.